What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Half Street High Heat. And today we're going to be looking at some player futures bets. Betting season is right around the corner, and I wanted to take a look at some over-unders for some player stats. I'm not going to be playing these right now, so don't think that these are like official bets. I'm not doing that. I'm just having some fun. But either way, let's get into some player futures. Bryce Harper, 97.5 RBIs. I'm taking the over here, and I'll tell you why. If you looked at his 2021 stats, you may be a little confused considering he had an RBI total that finished in the 80s. But here's the thing with the Phillies. Their lineup improved dramatically in the offseason. It is unlikely that he is going to be walked as often as he was last season just because the lineup around him is better and teams are going to have to pitch to him more than they want to. So not only do I think he's going to get more pitches to hit, I also think there's going to be more runners on base. He had over 30 home runs, but he was the solo home run merchant last year. So it's really unlikely that that happens again, especially with this lineup. So that's why I think he's probably going to go over 100 RBIs, so I'm taking the over on 97.5. Next up, we got Vada Jr. at 43.5 homers. I'm taking the under here, and the reason being is because they played half a season in minor league park. You know, there's probably a boosted total from that last year at 48 last season. He's a really young guy, and he's clearly a stud, and there's no denying his ability. It's just really hard right now to get that many home runs consistently each year, especially since they deadened the baseballs. So I'm not really feeling too comfortable with his line sitting at, basically he needs 44 homers. I don't know what the stats say technically about the Dunedin baseball field, but the eye test showed it was a Little League park. So I'm going to take the under here. I still think he's probably going to get to about 40, but that's still under 43.5. Aaron Judge home runs. He's sitting at 36.5 right now, and we would take the over in that case. Judge, whenever he stays fully healthy, has never gone under this line. Unfortunately, that has only happened twice in his 6-year career, so that is a little bit unfortunate, but it's hard to predict injuries. So we're going to just assume that he gets, about 140 games in, 130, 140 games. And if he gets to that point, he's probably going to hit this over. He had 39 last year in about 140 games. And obviously he had his big rookie year where that was the other season where he actually played the full season, and he ended up in the 50s. Now, I wouldn't think he's going to end up in the 50s anymore because, like I said, the ball is deadened, at least as far as we know. So I'm not expecting him to go that high, but over 36.5, that should be a shoo-in for him if he stays healthy. Another guy who doesn't play full seasons all the time, Trey Turner. He's sitting at 176.5 hits as his line, and I'm going to be taking the over on that one as well, because like I said, with Aaron Judge, you don't want to try and predict injuries necessarily. You might want to stay cautious with some guys, but Trey Turner is an elite talent. And when he does play almost full season or a full season, he has hit this over in each of those seasons. So once again, it's just about health. If he is on the field, he's going to hit this over probably. Next up, we have Ronald Acuna Jr. His home run line is 36.5. We're taking the under, and the reason being is that Acuna, it's not known when exactly he's going to be starting this season, but it will not start on opening day. He's probably going to miss about a month. And then he's going to slide into that DH role for a little while before he gets back in the outfield. Because he's going to be probably missing about a month of time, that's why I'm going to be taking that under. If he were to play the whole season, I would take the over because, he's a 40 home run potential guy every season when he plays a full season. Freddie Freeman, 166.5 hits. I'm hammering the over here, and this one might be one that I officially play closer to when the season starts because Freddie Freeman at 166.5 hits is a joke. This dude is an elite talent. And in his career, when he plays, close to every game, he's only gone under this total twice, and it was his second and third seasons. So I'm very much expecting him to go over. He had 180 hits last year, and he had a rough start last year, for him. So, you're probably looking at a good season for Freeman. He's probably finishing 175 to 200 hits. So that's why I think 166.5, that's going to change probably. So if you want to get in on that one early, might be worth it. Finally, we got a little bit of a fun one, a little thought experiment here. Jared Walsh's RBI line is at 104.5. And I'm taking the over. And that's kind of a weird play because he's a one-time All-Star who just broke into the league. He had 98 RBIs last year, so that's less. But then you look at the lineup, and I don't think it's possible for the Angels to have any more serious injury problems than they had last year because they were missing Trout and Rendon, and that really hurts that batting lineup. And with those two guys in the lineup, you're going to see a lot more base runners in front of Jared Walsh. You're going to see a lot of pitchers choose to pitch to Jared Walsh instead of Ohtani and Trout and Rendon. And I think that's going to make Jared Walsh the RBI guy. Remember, RBIs are a team stat. It's not necessarily saying that Jared Walsh is the best hitter on this team. It's saying he's going to probably have the most opportunities to drive in runs. So I'm thinking Jared Walsh on the over is an interesting play if the odds are decent. All right, and then we're going to move into some pitchers as well. So I'll be talking about Corbin Burnes first. His strikeout total is at 220.5. I'm taking the over here as well because Corbin Burnes had 234 strikeouts in 167 innings pitched last season. His strikeouts per 9 have increased every year since he's come in the league. His walks have decreased every year since he comes in the league. He attacks the zone. And with no more pitcher hitting, Craig Counsell is going to be able to keep his ace starters in the game a little bit longer. I know that there's the third time around the order philosophy, but I think that's with DH in the National League, it's going to open up Craig Counsell to have a little bit more leeway with some of these guys, especially Corbin Burnes coming off the season that he just had. So I could see him getting closer to 200 innings pitched this year. And he already hit this over on the strikeout total last year when he pitched only 167 innings. So I'm looking at the over, and I am loving it. Next, we got Max Scherzer. Met Max Scherzer now. Hate that, but whatever. 245.5 strikeouts, and I'm taking the under. Max Scherzer is 37 years old, going to turn 38 midseason. He has not eclipsed this total in the last 2 full seasons, 19 and 21. This one's tough. I want to take the under here because age is a factor, and I just can't see him getting to the 200 innings threshold. However, his manager is Buck Showalter, who is an old head who might let him go a little bit longer than maybe he should, because I think potentially he should be a little bit more rate-based. I'm glad I'm not in the situation, because if I had to tell Max Scherzer that he had to pitch less, I'd probably get my head ripped off. That's just my logic with it. I don't think he's going to have the innings to get to this total. The stuff is absolutely still there. Innings-wise, I'm not sure about it. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, we got Sandy Alcantara, and I think he's going to throw a lot of innings because this guy has gotten better every year. His line sits at 195.5 strikeouts, and I'm taking the over there. Sandy Alcantara's strikeouts per 9 innings have gone up every year since he came in the league. His walks have gone down every year since he came in the league. He eclipsed this total last year with 201 strikeouts in 205 innings pitched, something like that. I could see him getting closer to 215, 220 innings pitched this season. I'm a really big believer in Sandy Alcantara. You guys probably know this already if you've been on the channel for a little bit. So I gotta ride with him and stick with that over. He's gonna get over 200 in my opinion. And lastly here, we did a little event on Twitter where we asked you for some Washington Nationals players future bets, over-unders. So let's check them out. Let's see what you guys said. Let's see if I agree. First off, we've got Juan Soto home runs at 35.5. You guys said the over, 56.1% said the over. I'm taking the under, and it's not because of Juan Soto, obviously. We know Juan Soto's the best hitter in baseball right now. That's not a question. The question is the lineup around him. We do have Cruz now, and we do have Josh Bell backing him up. But even then, if I'm a pitcher, I want to attack those two guys instead of Juan Soto. So I don't really think that he has enough protection in the lineup to see enough pitches to hit consistently to get this total. He's absolutely capable of getting this total if he gets enough pitches to hit, but obviously Juan Soto, he knows that it's more valuable for him to walk in those cases than to try and force himself into getting hits. So that's why I'm going to go with the under on that one. Josh Bell's RBI line currently sits at 100.5, and again, I am going to go against the poll and take the over. If Bell does have the home run season that I think he will have, getting over 30 home runs, I think that the RBIs will come as well because, again, Juan Soto is going to be hitting in front of him, he's going to be getting walked in front of him, and Josh Bell is going to be the guy that teams look to pitch to and attack, and I think he's going to take advantage of that. I'm a big believer in Josh Bell. Hopefully it doesn't blow up in my face, but I really do believe in him. And finally, we got Patrick Corbin's ERA sitting at 4.25. I am going way over on that. It's not that I don't think Patrick Corbin has a chance to bounce back from last year. It's that I don't think the bounce back is going to be that dramatic. I would look at 4.5 to 4.75 based on last season and the year before that. I think he will actually have a slight improvement from last year, but it won't be to the extent where I could take the over here or the under here. So anyways, that's it, guys. Just doing some hypothetical bets. However, when the season does roll around, I will be betting, so make sure to follow me on Twitter @Reverse, and make sure to follow us at Half Street High Heat as well to get in on some of these polls, because we do like to try and get you guys involved in the videos via Twitter or social media in general. So make sure to go and give us a follow. We post every day. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.